Welcome to Awakened Titans podcast with Lily Patrascu, mind-blowing conversations with influential business titans sharing how you can manifest abundance, love, joy, success through quantum awakening, quantum manifestation, quantum healing, quantum miracles, exponential business growth, and innovative products and services. Discover how to create a 7-figure business in this amazing session with attorney Vera Zambrano. Now, Vera Zambrano is an amazing guest, and she founded her law firm in 2018 and quickly expanded it internationally. She leads a global team in Germany and the USA, specializing in high conflict cases with international aspects. A member of the International Bar Association, she has received accolades like the Boutique Law Firm of the Year at the Berlin Prestige Awards in 2020. And she was admitted to the Berlin Bar Association since 2017 and has experience in various legal fields, including international, private, family, and corporate law. She actively participates in several legal associations and is committed to continuous professional development. Her firm offers tailored legal solutions to clients worldwide. She has been featured on platforms such as Fox 5 News and the Legal Mastermind podcast. First question is, what is the secret to your success?
Thank you so much for having me, Lily. It's great to see you. So first of all, we have to talk about, what do women need? What do young entrepreneurs need to be successful, right? To build their own company and to steadily keep growing. So I wouldn't say it's a success, right? Because all entrepreneurs, most of the time that you have to spend in your business is actually hard work, right? You have to find your passion and then you have to work until you get there. Only like 10% is maybe talent, actually, right? Or luck, if you want to call it like that. But it's like a lot of hard work and persistence and never giving up, right? Because you will face a lot of obstacles and you have, a lot of milestones that you want to accomplish. So you have to always keep going and keep going. And yes, just never give up on your dream.
Thank you. And what's the secret to you becoming an awakened titan? And how did that help you to create your first 7-figure business?
Yes. So when I started right in 2018 with my first company in Germany, I was, steadily growing and also creating an international team. So when I expanded internationally, my law firm, and I wanted to focus on international law, that's when I created, I have to have employees, right? I have to have team members that are fully committed and also passionate about what they do, right? And that's pretty much also a little secret that you have to find the right people to work with, right? Because if someone is not as committed as you are, they will tear you down or they will just stop you from achieving even more.
Thank you. And how did you become a titan? Tell us about your journey.
Yes. So when I started in Germany, I expanded 2.5 years later to the US, as I said. And then I created a lot of content, right, in the legal world. So a lot of blogs. I published a lot of articles. And that's why I attracted a lot of international clients, right? And from that point on, I expanded to only do international law at this moment, right? At this point, we have clients from all over the world, right? They don't need to be based in Germany or in Europe anymore. So that's what we do is international representation in very different areas between the United States and Europe. Yes. So that's like the secret doesn't really exist, right? When you say what's the secret to becoming right very successful, but it's like a lot of different little steps that you do every single day, right? Over years that will get you to the results that you want.
Thank you. You mentioned publishing articles. Can you tell us some significant steps that you took that you feel made the biggest difference in your growth as a company?
Yes. So very, very important is because you have a lot of competition, right? A lot of company owners, a lot of law firms, and you need to, stand out, right? You need to stand out as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. And that's why I realized I have to create a lot of content a lot of free content for people to read, right? And based on that, a lot of clients actually contact my law firm and say, I have a similar problem. You wrote about this in your article, right? I have a very similar situation. I need help. So I think what you have to provide is free content for the audience. For them, they see your potential and they see what you're actually, experienced in.
Thank you. Tell us more about the kind of content marketing you were creating. Is it the type of content where you were talking about a generic problem that one of your clients had, and you were explaining how you personally solved it, and you repeated that exact type of article with a range of different clients, and therefore your ideal clients saw that and thought, oh my God, that's me. I also have this issue. Therefore, I should totally hire Vera's firm. Is that how it is?
Yes, exactly. That's how it happens. So you can break apart the case that you work on or that you have currently, right? Of course, you're not mentioning the names or the dates or the specific cities. You make it more anonymous, right? But you break it apart into like a legal problem that a lot of others have. For example, they want to get divorced. They live in a different country from their ex-partner. They're already separated. They have kids together. They have assets together. They maybe even have companies together, right? And so how to go through that and get the best out of it, but also, don't burn the bridge, because you might have to interact with this person again in the future, right? If you're a business partner, you're stuck in a company, or if it's your ex-husband and you have kids together, you have to have a good connection with this person, right? Still. So it's very important that, you tell people about what you're doing, what you love to do, and then you try to help them, as best as you can in solving their problems.
Thank you. And how did you ensure that these articles reached the right audience? Did you invest in a PR firm? Did you invest in a search engine optimization, SEO? Did you invest in paid adverts? What was it that you feel worked the best in terms of spreading these articles to the right clients?
Yes. So what I did in the beginning, I didn't do any paid advertisement, right? I did everything, free content based, but I put it always in English, German, and sometimes even in Spanish. So because the world languages are still English, Spanish, right? So most of the people, wherever they are in the world, they could read it and they could understand, right? So it's very important to be, internationally focused, because only a little percentage of people still in Germany, not everyone speaks German, right? So in Europe, you have a lot of different languages. Most people can understand English, right? But not a lot of people understand, not everyone understands French or Italian or Spanish, right? So you have to be focused on what's important for most people. And that's, English and also Spanish in the world.
Thank you. And is Spanish a language that you speak as well? Is that why you chose Spanish in particular?
Yes. So in school, I learned a lot of different languages, right? As most Europeans do. That's one strength of European schools. So of course, German, English, French, Spanish, Italian, and also Russian. I wouldn't say it's fluent. I can understand most of it, right? But with most clients, we actually speak English. Yes.
Thank you. Give us an example of the type of thing you would write in one of these articles that drew the attention of your ideal clients. And also, where did you place these particular articles? Were they on your blog? Were they on your website? Were they on particular places where your ideal clients?
Yes, so that's a very good question. So you can put it on your website. That's always good, right? To create more traffic, because the more content you have on your website, the better Google will pick it up and Google will recognize it. But also on their specific attorney websites. So in Germany, we have a portal that's called Anwalt.de, Attorney. DE, right? That you can post a lot of free content, and Google is easily picking it up. And anyone who types in something in English or in Spanish, they will actually go see directly that post or that blog. So we did both. We did on the website and also on attorney review sites. Yes.
Thank you. Did you use any articles in magazines, in specialized magazines, in any other people's blogs, in any other people's websites? Did you speak at other events? Was there anything else that you feel worked the most in order to help you grow this big business?
Yes. So what I also saw is we published articles in newspaper, in online magazines, right? In German newspapers and also in Spanish-speaking newspapers. So where they have like an online edition, that helps also, right? Because a lot of people don't read the newspaper anymore, like as a paper, right? They want to just scroll through it in the morning, and that helps a lot too. But I would recommend anyone to definitely publish a lot of articles about their own business and about their own work, because it's the best advertisement for you, actually.
Thank you. How can entrepreneurs find the right places to promote their articles so they can grow their business as well, leveraging content marketing?
Yes. So what I would suggest is, when you're like an artist or an entertainer, right, in the show business, you should publish, your opinion, your statements, or, articles on the specific magazine, right? In a specific magazine for this audience, right? When you're a business or a financial advisor, you should post in only those specific magazines, because people who are interested in that, they will read those magazines, right? And you want to attract high value clients that are really, serious about to contact you.
Thank you. Is there a particular USP, any unique selling point that your company had over other companies that you were able to portray in those articles that you used as content marketing? And how can entrepreneurs find their USP and present it to the right audience?
Yes, so that's a very tricky question, right? Because you need to, in order to, first of all, you need to grow. You need to grow, and you need to hire the right people, because only if you have the right team, you can grow more. Because you only have 24 hours in a day, so you cannot work more, right? Than this, you don't have unlimited time. So what I always suggest is, how do you make, with the less time you have, the most out of it, right? So what I would say, for getting, to the high numbers and making a lot of revenue, you have to have, managers, and you have to also have the right team members that can, work for you. Of course, you're still the boss, right? You're still the leader of the company, but you have to make sure that you have the right people that work for you. And then you can actually scale even higher.
Thank you. How did you discover your company's USP, and what do you feel it is?
So I would say, when I think about the most valuable asset for the company, right, that is probably that we're very unique when it comes to international law, because we specialize between the US and Europe. And not a lot of companies do that, right? They either specialize in one specific country or in one specific legal area. So we have like a different range of legal areas and provide international services in multiple languages, right? So that's what I think is the niche that makes us, stand out in, regarding other companies.
Thank you. How can women entrepreneurs build a 7-figure business?
So as you also know, right, the first million is the hardest one, right? You have to put in the most work to get there. It takes probably the longest time also, right? But once you achieve that, then you have a system in place, and you know exactly what works and what doesn't work, right? And you can create even more and more and more revenue. So what I would say to all the women, right, especially women, because I think it's a little bit harder when you are a woman and you want to have a private life and also be successful in business, right? That you should never be afraid. You should always try to figure out what you want to do, right? What is your dream? And then have a master plan, right? Write down exactly where you want to be in 1 year, in 2 years, in 3 years, and then stick to that deadline and never postpone anything. Don't say, I will do this next month, or I want to do this when I'm more experienced, or when I have the right business partner. Just, you have to start, because everyone starts somewhere. Right? Because no one is ready to start in the beginning. We're all starting from zero, And then you just have to, keep going and find the right people to work with.
Thank you. How can entrepreneurs succeed in spite of massive fear?
Yes. So I think fear is something that everyone has to a certain extent, right? Because you do something that you have never done before. Of course, you're a little bit afraid, right? And people tell you maybe you're too young to start, you don't have enough experience, or you don't have the right business partner, right, for that. So what I would say is you should never listen to those voices that tell you you can't do it. You should always, make a master plan, write everything down, because that helped me a lot. I wrote every month, I wrote my goal for the month, right? And that made me feel very comfortable in achieving it and going forward. So now if you only say, I want to be successful in 10 years, that's not a goal, right? Because you cannot really scale it. Or what does it mean? Does it mean 7 figures? Does it mean 8 figures, right? Everyone has a different vision. So you need to write down exactly what you want to make and then try to achieve it, right? Every single day is a little step closer to that goal.
Thank you. And how can entrepreneurs reach their first 7 figures in spite of fear of criticism and naysayers and various obstacles?
Yes. What I would say, surround yourself with people who have the same mindset, right? So because only business owners can really understand other business owners. As you will know, like people who work for someone, who are employed, they have a different mindset, and they will always maybe criticize you or maybe say, oh, that will not work, or you don't have enough experience, right? They will try to, minimize your effort, right? But if you surround yourself with someone or talk to someone who is more successful than you are, they will always, encourage you and say, amazing that you started. They will applaud you for doing that, because everyone started somewhere. No one was born like being a successful business owner, right? Everyone had to start and work for it. So I would say just go to events, right? And go, like, maybe talk to people. You can also do video meetings with people. You don't have to meet them actually, but talk to people who are, in the same mindset that you are.
Thank you. You were very brave to have the courage to put yourself out there in articles and to describe experiences that you've personally had with clients that you've helped and how you've helped them. Now, most entrepreneurs fear visibility. So how can entrepreneurs overcome that fear of visibility and criticism, and find the strength, the courage, the boldness in themselves to put themselves out there on global stages, on the cover of books, in different articles, in other people's websites? How can they find that strength?
Yeah. So the problem with that is that when you have you're a business owner, right? You have to be an expert in your field, first of all, right? You have to know what you're doing. You have to learn and keep learning about your own field, but you also have to train yourself to be extroverted, right? So a lot of people are not extroverted by nature, right? But you have to be in order to compete with others. Right? For some, it's easier. For some, it's not so much. But you don't have to become a public speaker or a book author, but it helps a lot if you're just, creating articles, if you're getting your message out there, if you have interviews, right? Because it just helps your own brand and you represent your brand. So no one will do that for you, right? If you don't do that, you would probably not get the perfect clients or the high value clients. And that's what I think. You can always do that every year. There's no limit, pretty much, right? There are so many events in the world, and there's so many, magazines and so many platforms that you can do that every single month somewhere else. So I think to be brave, you have to think about, like, what do I lose if I do it, right? You don't lose anything. You just lose time when you don't do it, right? And we don't have enough time in the world. So that's one thing. If you're a person that is not extrovert enough, then maybe you get a coach, right? You can get a coach that is teaching you, psychology and how to express yourself, to learn and to not, because everyone starts somewhere, right? And you are a natural talent. when it comes to public speaking, right? But someone else might not be. So I think you should just train and start where you are.
Thank you. How can entrepreneurs find even more platforms than the ones you already mentioned to distribute their content marketing and articles?
Yes. So there are some social media people, right, that know a lot about where to publish and how to publish. Then a lot of them say social media is very, very important, even if you're not a social media person by nature, right? You have to get on Instagram with your business or on Facebook, right? You have to get your message out there because otherwise you will not reach the younger generation, right? The younger generation you want to attract too. It's not only, older generations that could bring value to your company, right? So I would say get someone, if you don't like social media too much, then get someone who is doing that for you, and have the right team to even grow further in social media too.
Thank you. What other elements are important in order to reach your first 7 figures in your business?
Yes. So as I mentioned, for me personally, it was like I worked a lot, right? I just worked a lot. I didn't have a limit. I was like, whenever I have to do something, Saturday, Sunday, it doesn't matter. The day doesn't matter, right? I just had the goal and I wanted to achieve it. So what I think is, if you love something, if you have passion for something, then you love to work, right? There's no other way. You love it because you don't really think, oh my God, I have to work again. You want to do it because it's your own brand, it's your own company. So what I think, you have to work a lot. You cannot expect something amazing to happen without a hard work, right? And then I would say, surround yourself with the people that have a similar mindset, right? Because that will motivate you too. If you have someone you can talk to about that, about the challenges and about, like frustration that you will have at some point, or, any rejections. So talk to someone. Maybe you have a business partner, maybe a life partner in your personal life that has the same vision in mind, right? So because we see a lot of entrepreneurs are married to entrepreneurs, right? And why is that? Because they understand each other, right? And they know exactly what the other person thinks. So I think you should, work hard, but also, do it with fun, right? If you don't have fun doing it, it's maybe not the right thing for you.
Thank you. Were there any particular actions that you took that worked more than others that you recommend entrepreneurs to take to reach their first 7 figures?
So action, I would say what I already mentioned, the writing down your goals, having a master plan, hiring the right people for your business, and also be good with finances, right? Financial planning. Don't spend more than you made revenue, of course, right? And have if you're not good with taxes, get a CPA or get someone that is really good, right, with taxes and can explain that to you. But don't overspend whatever you're making in your business, right? It's a very good advice because you want to keep growing, right? You don't want to overspend and then have to work harder. But I would say, if you love what you do, right, you work whenever you want to. You work whenever you can, and there's no limit. That no one can really limit you in your ambition.
Thank you. What are the top mistakes entrepreneurs make when trying to reach their first 7 figures?
The top mistakes, I would say that they think, okay, I have a plan, and if that plan doesn't work, maybe it's not for me. Maybe I'm not the right person, or I'm not good enough. But as you can see, also from history, what tells us, all the amazing entrepreneurs or the great business owners, right? If you look at Amazon, or if you look at Apple, or if you look at, even Tesla, all those people started and they never gave up. So it's not that they failed. All of them failed in the beginning, right? But they just, the difference was that they were very stubborn and very persistent. And they said, I believe in my idea. I believe that I can do it. And they tried it over and over and over again, right? Because if they gave up, like a lot of people do in the beginning, they would have not been successful. We would have not have these amazing brands now, right? These great companies. So what I think, you just have to be stubborn, like a pit bull almost, right? And just, not let go. When you have, when you think that works and you have a smart idea, and you keep growing your business and you're working hard and you have the right mindset, then you should just never stop.
Thank you. What can entrepreneurs do when they suffer from depression, disappointments, disillusionment of some kind, when they are feeling stuck and overwhelmed or burnt out?
Yes. What I mentioned before is find a good coach, right? Maybe you have someone that is, in therapy, is very experienced in, therapy approaches, or even a mental coach, right? That can, talk to you on a weekly basis and tries to calm you down, right? Because some people have a higher threshold and don't need a coach, right? And they can just sort everything out themselves. And some people are more sensitive, right? It's just our nature as human beings. So when you're a very sensitive person and you're easily frustrated or easily, disappointed with things, or very sad very quickly, right? Then you should have someone either way in your private life, or maybe a coach, a therapist that you can talk to, and then, go from there. But it's very, very important. I think the mental capacity is also very important. If you're not mentally healthy, then you cannot really become successful, right? Because eventually you get a burnout quickly. So it's very important, if you feel you're overwhelmed or you're working too much and you see no results, to also have a coach, right? To engage a coach.
Thank you. How do you maintain the energy throughout a really, really long time? It feels that you kind of have to have this marathon type energy to sustain this continuous, ongoing hard work for a really long time. And then after a while, you start to see, the wheels are in motion and everything starts to really work. But initially, you have to put in quite a lot of effort and energy. So how do you maintain that energy yourself?
Yes, so that's sometimes a problem, right? Because we want to see results as quickly as possible. Everyone is impatient. We don't want to wait so long. That's normal, right, for every one of us. But I think for me, I was always writing down my goals, right? I said, okay, this month I want to achieve this. Next month, don't set yourself too high goals, right? Goals that are realistic and achievable, but also stick to your goals. And if that means that you cannot go out on the weekend, or you cannot do whatever you want to do, right? That means you have to be disciplined, right? You just have to work through 7 days. Like I worked actually a lot of years, 7 days a week, and I never regretted it, right? Because otherwise I wouldn't be where I am. So the thing is, you just have to, if you love it, right? Then you work and you have a goal. Always keep that goal in mind. And maybe you have a little, something, people have something on the wall. Sometimes I see that entrepreneurs have like a quote, or have like a very famous quote on the wall that they say, okay, never give up, or one step a day is better than, standing still, or you have to something that motivates you, right?
Thank you. What's your message to entrepreneurs worldwide who want to reach 7 figures as a last?
Internationally, I would say, yes, find the right platforms to publish a lot, try to publish in different languages, right? Because that's very important to reach most of the people, and then try to get out there and try to go to, also events, or try to go to interviews and also public speaker events.
Thank you so much. That was a fascinating interview. Stay tuned for the next episode. Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential business titans, providing you with the insights to awaken to your full potential, so you can get paid to be yourself, find true happiness, and manifest anything you desire.